Hey, hi, welcome guys. Welcome back to our channel, which is Pybron.
Another concept yesterday where we left. I guess in yesterday class where we had seen the dictionary concept, and now I guess all the fundamental data structure we had covered so far. And now I am going to discuss you about the function concept. What is the function? Am I audible? Okay, so let's start. Function. What is the function? So today we are going to discuss about the functions. So function is also two kind. One is the inbuilt function, and another is the user defined function. Why we are going to use the function? Because if in your program, let's suppose if you want to write a similar line of code multiple times, then it's not a good approach to write a multiple line of code, a similar line of code multiple times. So in order to overcome this kind of problem, we are going to use function like this. In case of any language, there is just some inbuilt function are coming, some user defined function are coming. What are the built-in function? What are the built-in function? Built-in function in case of Python, built-in function in case of Python, like len, we had seen id is the one function, len is the one function, and type is another function. So these are the all inbuilt function which is already written by Python developer. You have to, as a Python programmer, you have to call. So don't you think so you can also write this kind of function? You have to write this kind of function, and this kind of function is known as the user defined function. That function is not what is known as the user defined function. And once you write your program function, you can call function as many time, how many time you can call. Okay, so syntax to define the function. What is the syntax to define the function? Syntax to define the function: def is the keyword, def is the keyword, and function name. Here you can give the function name, function underscore name, and here you can give any parameters, what the parameters you need, parameters, and then body, then here body, whatever the function body is there. This is a simple syntax is there, and you can say the return value also you can give it up if you need return value. Okay, I'll explain these things in a while. Wait a moment. Okay. uh, okay, I'll explain these things now. Let me show you this with the example. So what I am going to show you, just a minute. So I am going to define one def, sorry, def greeting, def greeting, and here I am going to wish something. I'm going to write here print and hello good evening. Hello, this is the evening time, right? Hello good evening, good evening, good evening. Now let's suppose I wrote this line, and now how many times you are want to call this greeting method, you can call it up. Okay, so I wrote here two time, one time, and again if I want to call this greeting method, I can call it up, right? Shift F10. Can you see this two time greeting method? Hello good morning, good evening came. Suppose I want another time, suppose third time I also want this message, so also I can call three time, and I am getting the three time message. Let's suppose you want to pass a parameter also. Means suppose here, suppose I want to greet Mr. X. Okay, so that is also possible here. Suppose parameters, if suppose you are going to define parameters with the signature of the methods. So how we can define the parameters? Okay, how we are going to define the parameters, right? So def, and here I am going to pass greeting, and inside of greeting I am going to give name. Greeting, I am going to give the name. And let me put all these things over the comment, because this is no use at all. Okay, so now, okay, done. So here what I'm going to do, just try to understand. Here I'm going to write print hello, hello x good evening, hello x good evening. So hello is our a static word, so I'm writing here hello, and here name will come with the method. Whenever we will call, that time we will pass the name. So here I'm passing that name, hello name, that name, comma, and here I'm passing good evening, or whatever things you are want to pass. Good evening, good evening. Okay, eve. And let's suppose now if I am calling this greeting method, now if I am calling this greeting method, and I can able to see, Oh shit, what is this? Where is the error? DEF. Yes, why this error is coming? Because as in the signature, I mentioned that I should pass one parameter, right? So I have to pass the parameter also, right? So without passing the parameter, it will not work. So can you see this? Hello, Rajesh, good evening. So this is the beauty of that. Suppose second time you want to greet with someone, means like this, suppose I want to give the greeting message to Pybron, okay? So that is also possible. Okay, so hello Pybron, good evening. Got it. So this is the beauty of the method, means once you define and you can call as many time how many time you want. Okay, and let's suppose write a function to take a number as an input and print the square value of it. So suppose I got a requirement like this. I am getting one requirement. Let me pass this over the chat. Now, my requirement is like this: write a function to take a number as an input and print the square value. Write a function, take number as an input and print its square value and print its square value. Okay, so now how you can do it up? Let's see how we are supposed to do. So what I'm going to do, def, I'm creating one method, as is already told, create a function, right? So I'm going to do squared squared, and here I am passing number, and here let's suppose print the square value, print the square of, and 1 minute, let me put over the charge, the square of comma number. Here I'm passing that number, square of 5. Let's suppose I want a square of 5. So how we are going to print the message? The square of 5 is comma, here I am going to give one space, comma, number into number, right? Like this we are supposed to print, and that's all. And now your task has done. And now what we can do, I am going to pass this squared, and here I am passing this 5. And if I want to execute this code, can you see this? The square of 5 is 25. Let's suppose I want 6, square of 6. This is also possible. Yes, the square of 6 is 36. Similarly, you can make a method for the cube also, and whatever you need. Okay, now, so this is the very simple function we had created, and this is all function are the user defined function, right? So in this, no need to bother about that what we did. This is the very simple fundamental concept we had applied over here. It's a kind of thing which we already implemented, but we did not made any kind of function or method, you can say. But right now I'm making all those things. We are going to learn all those things in a structured way, so that we can reuse our code. What is the benefit of the function? Benefit of the function is, benefit of the function is, once you create the function, and you can call as many time whatever how many time you can. Okay, so this is the beauty of the function. Next, okay, next I'm going to discuss about the return type. Okay, so let me put over the comment, and now we are going to see the return statement. What is the return statement? Let's suppose you created one function and you got the output, and let's suppose I will make it very easy, don't worry. Okay, so let's suppose what is the role of the function basically? Okay, try to understand this. So function role is what? So see, basically function what is doing? Function is taking the input. Here we are passing the input, and with the input it will do some computation inside a computation, and after computation, let's suppose you want to use this computation result to the another function, then we have to return this computation result with the return statement. This is the return statement, right? Return and computation result. Got it. So if we are going to make, if we want the output of the one function in the future use, then we should go with the return statement. Let's suppose I'm going to give one thing. So suppose write a function to accept the two number as an input and return the sum. Means what I'm going to do, I'm going to write one function like def and sum. Here I'm going to give here a and b. This is the beauty of the Python. Means in case of Python, what is the beauty of this? We don't need to bother about the data type. Whatever data you are going to pass, it will consider automatically at the runtime, whether it's an integer or float, it's a character, double, string, whatever it is. But in case of other language, we have to pass, we have to define, means we have to define here itself, it's an integer, so it's an integer, it's a float, then only it will consider. But in case of Python, it's the beauty of this, it's a intelligence language, so we no need to define any kind of the data type over here, right? And now what I'm going to do, return return x plus y, that's all. I returned it x plus y, and afterwards what I'm going to do, oh sorry, not x plus y, a plus b, because we had defined a plus b. Now what I'm going to do, just a minute, what I'm going to do, print, and here I'm calling the sum method, and inside of sum I'm passing 5, and similarly I'm going to pass print, and here I'm again calling the sum, and this time I'm passing the float method, float values, and 6,6.7. And now if you are trying to execute this code, can you see this? 3 plus 5 is 8, and 4.5 and 6.7, we supposed to get the 11.2 output as an output. And let's suppose you need a, you, if you want a, kind of message also, so user can get to know what we, which number we added, so that we got 8. So you can pass like this, the addition of addition of, and here you can pass here not like this, 3 comma 5, 3 and 5, and 5 is sum, and here you just pass comma like this, and similarly you can make it up, right? The addition of 3 and 5 is 8. Now you are getting the response also, which number we added, so that we got the output like this, correct? No problem at all. Okay, now similarly I'm going to give another statement. So function is very easy, all those concepts, we had seen all those concepts without function. Now we are going to build all those things on the top of the function, so that what is benefit will occur, like this, once we create a function, once we write our code, we can call as many times, how many times we want. Suppose we are having the requirement like this, write a function to check whether the given number is the even or odd. Write the function to check whether the given number is even or odd, okay? So what we can do, def, and here is even, I'm going to create one method, is even, okay, is even. And here what we are going to do, suppose here we will pass one number, 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 and inside of this method I'm writing one logic, how we can check the even, this is even numbers. Let's suppose how we are going to define any number will be even or odd. If any number will be divisible by 2, then it's a even, otherwise it's a odd. So how we are going to check the number is a even or not? So if condition, if number modulus of 2 equal to 0, then we can say print number comma is even, okay? Similarly I can put here else part also, else print number is not even, correct? So this is the rule. And now I'm going to call is even method here, and here I'm passing the 5, and is even, again I'm calling, sorry, is even, and here I am passing the 6, and if I'm pressing the shift F10, you can see 5 is not even and 6 is even, right? This is the beauty of this. Means suppose you will not write a function, then you have to write this line of code to check 5 as well as 6. So we are saving our 3 or 4 line of code, okay? So yeah, now in case of Python, multiple return type is also acceptable, but in case of other languages you cannot return the multiple element, okay? So let's suppose in case of Java, each function should return only one element, but in case of Python, multiple element is also, you can return it up, okay? So I am going to make it out, 1 minute, clear it is. So what I'm going to say, return multiple value from the function, multiple value from the function. This is the Okay, so here I am writing one more comment here. So in case of C, C++, Java, each function can return only one element at a time. Got it. But in case of Python, you can return as many elements whatever you want. Let's suppose I want to create a one function like a def means this function will return the addition as well as subtraction result, both to sum and sub. And here what I am going to do, here I am passing two numbers a comma b, and let's suppose sum is equal to sum. I'm going to create one variable, sum is equal to a plus b, and here I'm going to define subtraction sub. Okay, as again variable name might be anything, a minus b. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, and return sum comma subtraction sub, both. Okay, so two thing it can be returned, but in case of Python it is not like that. And return. Okay, now what I'm going to do, just try to understand here. I'm going to call this sum subtraction method, and here I'm passing 3 comma 5, right? And what is the return type of it is, it will return two things, right? Summation plus subtraction. Okay, so whatever it will return, I'm going to store in some variable like add comma subtraction, two variable. I'm going to store inside of two variable. Got it? So first it will return the summation. The summation wala result will get stored inside of add variable, and subtraction wala result will get stored inside of sub variable. Got it? Now what I am going to do, try to understand here. Try to understand. And now what I'm going to do, print. I'm going to call the print, and the sum is, I'm going to pass the sum is, and here I am writing like this, comma sum, sorry, not sum, add, because addition result is stored inside of add variable. And similarly, if you want to write a subtraction result, if you want to print the subtraction result, the subtraction result is, and here you want like this, right? Subtraction sub. So that is also possible, and let's run this code. Can you see this? The summation is 8 and the subtraction result is -2, because 3 minus 5 will be -2. Okay, you can make a user friendly program, means you can take these 3 and 5 with the user and you can pass it up. That you already knows how to do. I'm not going to done here anything. Okay, so just do it up. Okay, let's suppose in the same method you want to create a addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything in same function. So how you can do it up? That is also possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me just a minute. I'm going to create one function like a def. I'm going to create def calc, and here I am passing two number a comma b, same a comma b, and here I am going to write the sum is equal to summation of a plus b, and here I am writing, oh shit, and here I am going to write the subtraction sub is equal to a minus b. And similarly I am going to create one variable like for the multiplication, mul is equal to a into b, and for the division purpose I am going to use the div, and here I am passing here a divided by b. Let's see what is going to be happen. And now I am going to return sum comma subtraction sub comma multiplication comma division div. Okay, and done. And now I'm going to call calc, and here inside of calc I am passing the 5,3, done. And this will return four variable. Suppose it will return 4 variable and you want only summation, sum comma sub. Multiplication, division I don't want. That is also possible. Let's suppose it is returning four variables, 4 things, but I want only two thing out of 4, so that I stored in the 2 variable. So that is also possible. It don't like that key the function return type is the 4, so you have to store in the 4 variable only. It is not like that. That is also possible. And print here I am writing, I'm going to copy paste from here only. That's all. So instead of writing the add, because we don't have add, here I am passing the sum and subtraction, and now I am pressing shift F10. Okay, sum subtraction, too many value unpack. Okay, got it. So why it is happening? MUL division div. Okay, and let's see. So what is this? Sorry, my bad, I made a one mistake here. What is, how many things it is returning? That many variable you have to create, but yes, there is some logic behind of that, so that you can create a less number of parameter also. I'll show you in a while how you can do. Basically, there is some iterator and generator concepts are there. With that, we can capture that many those value only which we need. Just give me a moment. But as of now, whatever the values it is returning, store it somewhere, and whatever thing you need, you can print it up. Suppose you need for the multiplication also, then you can print it up. Okay, so this is also one thing. Okay, and yes, now next is, okay, let's suppose in this method, what is that, only two number we can add. Suppose I want to add the three number, what you can do, I don't know how many numbers is user is passing during the runtime. Just give me a moment, I need a water. Let's suppose I means I don't know how many numbers is user is passing to add the numbers, add the result. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one very method like sum method, and here I'm passing n. So by default, automatically, how many number it will pass by the user, it will consider that and it will add it up. So how it is going to be add here, just try to understand. So here I'm going to write here total is equal to 0, total is equal to 0, and here I'm writing for n1, for I in n, for I in n, and here what we are going to do, total is equal to total plus I. Okay, similarly total is equal to, then next at the end of this method, what we can do, print the sum is equal to, and here you can pass, this is the beauty. And now I'm going to call this sum method, and now see how it will work. Right now I'm passing two number, that time also it will work. And if I'm passing, let's suppose three numbers, if I'm passing the three numbers, this time also it will work, 3 comma 4 comma 5. And similarly, if I'm passing the four number, if I'm passing the four now, 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, that time also it will work. Can you see this? I did not define anything ki how many parameter you have to add. These things was not available in case of Java, but yes, you can do in with the Java also. There is some logic behind of that, you can do it up. But in case of Python, it's a bit easy to do this kind of thing. Got it? Yes. So this is known as the variable length argument. Okay, this is known as the variable length argument. This is known as the variable length argument. And let me put over the comment. Now there is a one concept is there, like what is the difference between the function and library? What is the difference between, because so many people are saying why you should learn Python, because in case of Python there is a huge number of libraries are available. With that library we can make our task is easy. Okay, so people are saying like this, but I don't know why they are saying like this. But yes, in case of Python there is a huge many libraries are there. So I am going to define what is the difference between the library and function. Okay, so library, in case of library, we having the inside of library we having the different module, module 1 and module 2. Okay, and inside of module is what, module is the collection of different function. Okay, so this is the function 1, function 2, function 3, function 4. This is a different function. Similarly here also different kind of function we have. But function is what, function is itself is the elementary part of the library, you can say. Means see, as in case of library we having the different module. Okay, inside of module we having the function, like you can see a copy is the one library. And in case of machine learning there is a huge number of library we are going to use in a while. And but all these libraries, what all those libraries are the collection of the function, and function is what complex code, so that you no need to write that complex code. You can call that complex code with the help of the function, and you can get your task done. Okay, so this is the beauty of the function. And function, with the help of the function, we are creating the module, and with the module we are going to create the library. Got it? So this is the things, this is the difference between the library and function, I could say. Okay, now next thing is what, now I'm going to discuss about the variables, type of variable. What is the type of variable? Try to understand this concept. If you can able to understand these things, then you can happily understand anything. So what is the type variable? Variable is what? Variable is exactly is what variable, it is the kind of thing which is actually stored in our RAM. Okay, let's suppose I said a is equal to 10. The a is what? A is the variable. It occupied in the RAM, it occupied space, some space in the RAM. Okay, so this kind of thing is known as the variable. So in case of Python or Java or C plus C, there are two kind of variable. Like one is global variable. What is the global variable? Just try to understand. And another is local variable. Local variable. So what is global variable? See, those variable which define inside of main method, or you can say inside of main method, and which can call from the anywhere, that is known as the global variable. And those variable which is defined inside of any function, whose significance or whose life is alive inside of that function only. Outside the function you cannot call that those variable. Those variable is known as the local variable. Got it? Global variable are what? Basically, global variable are what? Global variable are those variable which is used inside, which can be called from anywhere, that is known as the global variable. Local variable are what? Those variable which is defined inside of function, which is defined inside of function, and whose scope is only inside of that function. Outside will no scope of that. So those kind of variable is known as the global variable. Let's see how we can understand this concept, type of variable. I'm going to define the type of variable. Now I'm going to discuss about the type of variable. Let's see. Suppose I wrote here a is equal to 10. Okay, so this is the global variable. Why it is global variable? I'll elaborate in a while. Global variable. And now I'm going to define def f1, def f1, and here I'm not writing anything, and I can call print a. Right, I can call print a because it's a global variable, so that you can call from anywhere. You can call from anywhere. Let's suppose I'm going to create another method, def f2, def f2, and here I am going to call print a, again a. So I can call from anywhere. And if I am going to call f1 and f2, and if I'm going to execute this, you can see 10 I can able to call it up. So this is the known as the global variable. Now what is the local variable then? Okay, try to understand the local variable also. Okay, so this is the global variable example. Now just try to understand the local variable. What is the local variable, sir? Local variable, just try to understand. Here I am writing, no, not here, def, I am writing here f1, and inside of f1 I'm going to make a variable like a is equal to 10, a is equal to 10, a is equal to 10, and print a. Okay, it will valid here only, it will valid inside of the method only. Outside of method there is no scope. Again I'm going to create another function like this, def f2, def f2, and here I am writing a is equal to, if I want to access that a here, if I want to access a here, I am not able to access. Okay, I am getting error, it's invalid. Okay, because this variable has defined inside of method, so its scope will be inside of this function only. Outside of function you cannot fetch this variable, and you will get one error. You can see there is a error, right? And if I'm going to call f1 f2, f1 f2, I'm going to do this, I'm getting error. A is not defined because a is the local variable. It defined inside of that function only, right? It's an invalid function. Now let's suppose try to understand the things. Let's suppose you had created one variable inside of one function and you want to make it as a global. So that is also possible here. Global, sorry, that is also possible. What happened, spelling mistake, globl, yeah. And 1 minute, what I'm going to do is equal to 10, okay. And here what you are saying here, now if I'm going to write here a is equal to 777, a is equal to 777, okay. And now print a, you will get what the output you will get, 777. Basically a is here, what is that, basically a is equal to 10, a is equal to 10, but here we defined why, what I told in the line number 12, hey function, use the global a, use the global a which is defined there and make it as a 777. Why 777? And this 777 will be defined only inside of this function. Outside of the function, if I'm going to print this a, what the value we should get, we will get 777, correct, right? So means I said that use the global a and make the 10 as a 777, okay, make the 10 as a 777 and you can use it up, and now a become 777 777 and you can use it up, correct. Okay, so this is all about the global variable and local variable. Now we are going to discuss about the very important function which is known as the lambda function. It is very important. How many star you want to put it up, you can put it up, no doubt at all. Means as a point of interview, it's a very interesting topic, and as a machine learning, learning, this lambda function is very important. What is the lambda function? Just try to understand what is the lambda function is here, okay. Let's try to explain this. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the lambda function. Let's suppose basically what you are going to do here, def sum, and here we are passing a plus b and we are writing here return a plus b, okay. Just for addition of two line we are writing function, we are defining the function. If you want to define this kind of small function, then no need to create a function. That's what lambda function came into the picture. How the lambda function is going to be work here, just try to understand. Call lambda keyword, 1 minute, I'll make a different color. Call this lambda keyword, and here you just pass some colon a plus b. That's all, done, your task is done. Initially you supposed to write this many line of code, now your task is doing only single line of code with the help of the lambda. Syntax for lambda function, just syntax is very important, okay. Syntax for lambda function, syntax for lambda function, okay. So what the syntax it is, just a minute, I'll make a different color. So lambda is the keyword, and here argument list means what the it will return. As it will add two number, then obviously it will return only one member. So I am going to write here argument list colon, and here expression. So this is the syntax. Let's implement these things over the code. How we are going to implement? With the help of the code, right? Okay, just try to understand. Initially we are going to suppose I want to square the numbers, so we wrote a square method, and inside of square method we supposed to multiply the same number with the same number, then only it was returning the square of the number, right? But now that we are going to do the same thing with the lambda function. How we are going to do? S is equal to lambda, and here I'm passing n colon n is into n. That's all, done, your task is done, no worries at all, no worries. Now what I'm going to do, just to try to understand, the print the square of 4 is, and here I am passing comma s of 4, and now again print, and here also I'm passing the square square of 5 is, and here I am passing s of 5. That's all. And now if you are going to execute this code, can you see this? So beauty it is, right? Initially how we used to do the same thing, we were writing our customized function def squared, and here we are passing the num like this, and it will return num into num, right? Like this, num into num, and we supposed to pass these things, and we are calling the same thing. Now the same task is going to be happen with the lambda function in a single line of code. So this is the beauty of this. Okay, this is the beauty of this. Correct? Now correct, got it. Now let's suppose I want to check the biggest number, means out of two number I want to check the bigger. Hope you understood the lambda function, right? I'm not getting any response, so I'm finding that everyone is understanding here, right? If you face any problem, just do let me know. Let's suppose lambda function to find the write a lambda function to find the biggest of the given number. Write the lambda function to find biggest of the given number. How to do this? Just try to understand. Okay, so I'm going to create one lambda function as is equal to lambda, and here two number we will pass, right? A comma b. Okay, colon, if I'm writing here condition, if a is greater than b, if a is greater than b, else b. Okay, so what it will do basically, if a is greater than b, else b. Okay, fine. So if a is greater than, then it will return a. Okay, otherwise it will return for b. Means what is mean? Suppose I pass during the calling of this, I pass two number, it will come here, means it will come here a and b. Okay, I'll explain with the drawing, don't worry. Okay, so print what I'm doing s, and here I'm passing 3 comma 5. You can see 5. What happened here? Just try to understand what happened. Let's suppose I created one lambda function as is equal to lambda, and here what we did, here we lambda, and here we wrote here a comma b colon a if a is greater than b, else. So what happened when we call this as 3 comma 5, these two number went in a and b. Just I'll make a different color so that you can able to understand. These two number went in these two parameters a and b. Now it is going to check this line. If a is greater than b, no, it is not greater than b, then it will not return a. If it is not greater than, then it will return b. So what is the b? 5. So that's what it is returning, 5. If a is greater than b, then it will return a. Got it? So if suppose I am going to interchange this 5 comma 3, and now if I am going to execute this, you can see 5, it is returning 5. Got it? So this is the beauty of this lambda function. So hope you understood. Okay, now some points you should note it out. One point, note down this. This is for your noting purpose. Note lambda function internally return expression. As you seen, we did not call any return keyword, right? We did not use any return argument, as afterwards also it is returning some parameter. So note lambda function return internally function internally return type, right? Return expression value, and we are not required to write return statement explicitly, and we are not required to write the return statement. Another note, sometimes we can pass the function as an argument to the another function. That is, I'll show you some in a while. Okay, so hope you understood the lambda function. Now let's see some another inbuilt function in case of Python: map, filter, and reduce. This is the very important function in case of Python. Okay, we are going to use as means so many times whenever you are in any domain. Suppose you are going to switch your domain in the data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, anywhere, we are supposed to use this kind of function number of time, humorous time. Okay, now I'm going to discuss about the filter function. What is the filter? So let me write it as filter function. So what is this? So we can filter, means we can use this filter function to filter the value from the given sequence based on the some condition. What is that? Just definition. We can use the filter function to filter the values from the given sequence based on some condition, okay. Let's suppose I have one list, and I have on list 1 2 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, right? And out of this list I want only even number, means I have to filter the even part only. So what we can do, so filter is taking syntax of filter, just note it down. Filter, syntax of filter, function, either function, you can write function as a lambda function or any inbuilt, any user defined function, no doubt at all. Function and expression and sequence, that's all. Now try to understand. Try to understand. So what we are going to do, try to understand. Let's suppose I want to I told you this is the list, right? This is the list, and out of this list I want to get only even numbers. So what we can do, just a minute, I'm going to create one list here, and here inside of list I'm going to define 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, that's all. And now I have to filter only even part, what we can do, either we can create one function def is even karke, is even underscore even, and inside of this I am passing the number and here I am writing this, if number modulus of 2 equal to 0, then return true, return true, else false, that's all. Now try to understand the concept. Now what we are going to do, I'm going to call the filter function, filter filter function, and in this filter function what we are going to do, try to understand. In this filter function I am going to see, filter function will take two argument, one is the function, another is what, another is you can say a list or sequence. So filter function is even, right? Is even, and that's all. I can, no need to pass anything, and here I am passing these things. Just try to understand, what we are going to do here, that's all, comma, and here I am going to pass the list, okay. So this filter will filter it out all the even number, and I am going to store inside of list, okay, and I'm going to store inside of one variable, even underscore part, that's all. And now I'm going to print even part, and now if I'm going to execute this, what is that? Okay, sorry, I made a mistake here, sorry, my bad. See, only even part we got it, right? We got it only even part. Either you can create this custom method, or else in spite of doing this kind of thing, this is the one approach. Another approach, now I'm going to show you another approach. What is that another approach? Let's see. I'm going to create a same list here also, control C, control V, and I'm not going to define any custom functions, and I'm going to call this filter function again. And inside of filter function it will take two argument, one is function, another is sequence. Now this time my function, I'm going to create a function, lambda, and here I'm passing x colon x modulus of 2 equal to 0, then it will return true, otherwise it will return a false, okay, now what we are going to do as a and next comma, another is sequence, I'm going to call this list. And now this complete filter, after the filter I'm going to store inside of list, and yes, and now I'm going to store into the even part. Yes, this is also good way. In this way also you can do print even part. Just a minute, let me execute this. You can see both the output are we are getting. Initially we were writing this many of line of code, means 11 line, 10 line of code. Now we can do the same task with the 3 line of code. Got it? So this is the beauty of the lambda function. Okay, anyways, the vector will be now. Similarly, you want to check whether, means suppose lambda function, you got it right, means with the lambda function also you can do, and otherwise also we can do it up, means suppose I want to check whether the number is not divisible by 2, means odd part I want to check. So what you can do, basically what you can do here, in spite of writing this not equal to, you can type here not equal to 0, and now if you are pressing this shift F10, you can see I'm getting the odd part. This is also possible, right? Hope you understood. Right now, filter method you understood. Now I'm going to discuss you about the map function, or how the map function is doing. Okay, so let me copy this just over the chat. Now try to understand the concept, map function, how the map function is working here. Just let me delete this. Now we are going to discuss about the map function. Map function, what is the map function? Try to understand. So map function is basically for every element present in the given sequence apply some, again map function is also will take two argument, one is function comma sequence. So what we are going to do, for every element present in the given sequence, apply some functionality and generate new element with the required modification, and generate new sequence with the required modification, okay. Let's suppose I have one list like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6, and I want to add one number with each element. So basically I need this kind of output, 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7, right? So this is the old list and this is the modification list. Whenever you want to do this kind of thing, then you should go with the map function. Okay, how it is going to be happened, map function map function, how it is going to be happen, try to understand. Or else, let's suppose you want to add one number, or you have to multiply number by 2. So 1 into 2 2, 2 into 2 4, 3 into 2 6, 4 into 2 8, 5 into 2 10, and 6 into 2 12. Okay, so either you have to add 1 or multiply by 2. So this kind of modification if you want to do, then you should go with the map function. Basically in case of filter is what, out of the sequence we want the required element, then we should go with the filter. We have the sequence and in that sequence we want some modification, then go with the map function. Hope you understood when you should use the map function and when we should use the filter function. Let's implement the same thing. Right now I'm going to define list, and here inside of list I'm going to define here 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and now what I'm going to do, map function, I'm going to define the map function. Inside of map function I'm going to define the lambda function, lambda a colon a plus 2, that's all, and comma here I'm going to define here list, that's all. And now this complete thing I'm going to convert into list argument, and I'm going to paste it inside of list, and I'm going to mapped value, mapped underscore value. Got it? So I'm going to print mapped value, and let's see whether it is working or not. Yes, it is working, right? What I did, whatever the list was there 1 2 3 4 5, and I added number 2 in each element of that list, and I am able to get 1 plus 2 will be 3, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 2 will be 5, 4 plus 2 will be 6, 5 plus 2 will be 7, right? Suppose you, instead of adding number 2, you want to multiply with 2, so that is also possible, right? Everything is possible. Whatever you want to do, you can do it up. It is up to you how you are going to use it up, right? Correct. Next function is what? So next, when you should use the map function, when you should use the list filter function. That is very important. So just a minute. So the difference, making difference is very important here. Okay, so here I am writing filter and here I am writing map. Just try to understand the concept. If you are able to understand these things, then you will never forget. Means suppose in the given sequence, from the given sequence, if we have to take out the particular values based on the conditions, then we should go with filter function. Okay, map function. What is the map function then? Means from the given sequence, suppose we have the sequence and we need to create, and we have a required we have a requirement that we need to create a different sequence with some modification, then go with the map. Got it? Hope you understood these two concepts. Means make a difference between the filter and map, because it's a very important. Sometimes students are getting confused which function we should use which time. So that I made a clear picture between these two things. Okay, now have you written, everyone? Okay, this is the current note only. You have to write or else take a screenshot. Right? I'm going to. Okay, now let's discuss about the reduce function then. If it is done, then we can go with the reduce function. Okay, I'm giving 2 minutes. Just note it down if anyone want to note it, or else take a screenshot, whatever possible. Okay, now let's discuss about the reduce function. What is the reduce function? To try to understand this reduce function. So how it is working, reduce function, just try to understand. Reduce function reduce sequence of elements into a single element by applying the specified function by applying. Okay, and these one more thing I would like to clear here. 1 minute. Here suppose I want to type a Pybron. Now the our site got hosted, and you can take a benefit over here. Okay, let's go to the Pybron's website, and now you will get complete thing, guys. If you want a note, then you can get it out from the here only. No need to go anywhere. Just everything is here with the one click. We had created all those things is here, right? We had created all those things here. Got it? So this, in this way you can do it up, and also your video lectures are here. Okay, so now if you go here, you can see our videos lectures. So all those videos got uploaded here. Got it? All those videos got uploaded till now. Whatever we had taught you so far, so forth, all those videos got uploaded here, and you can get all those videos from here only. So whoever has been registered with their mail ID, they only can access those videos, right? So that's for your kind information. I'll share this link in a while. 1 minute, I'm going to share this. Okay, so this is the link. I will share this link over the chat. Keep bookmarks, it's a very important link, right? You will get it out, all those things over here. Got it? Now let's see. Now we are going to implement this reduce function. So see again, the reduce function, what is the syntax of reduce function? Same, reduce. Here you have to define function and then sequence. Same, each map, filter, reduce, syntax is same, but logic behind of that is different. Now how to do these things, how to do? Now try to understand. So reduce function is coming under the function tool. Okay, so just try to understand. So reduce function is coming under the function tool. 1 minute, I'll copy this for you guys for the chat. Now let's understand from func tool, func tools. and import all. If you want to import all function, then import all. Otherwise you can import the specific function if you know, right? And now what I'm going to do, list. I'm going to create a list, and in this list I'm going to define 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50 40 comma 50, right? And yes, and now what I'm going to do, try to understand. I'm going to create one result, and inside of result I'm going to not like this, just try to understand. Reduce function I'm going to call reduce, and inside of reduce I have to add reduce. What is the definition of reduce? Just try to understand. Reduce function reduce the sequence of the element into the single element. Means basically it is saying ki it will whatever function, suppose you want to multiply all element of the list, then you can go with this, because after multiplying the all those element in the list which is present in the list, then it will return, by default it will return single element, right? Suppose we are going to add the multiple element, at the end we supposed to get only single output, right? So this is the benefit of the reduce. Whenever you need only single output, means after the all calculation, then we should go with the reduce function. Try to understand, this is the thing. And now what we are going to do, I'm going to write one lambda function here. Lambda x comma y, x comma y, and colon x plus y, and yes, and comma l function, and then sequence. What will it will do, and as it will return only single element, the no need to convert into the list, and I am going to store inside of result variable, and here I am going to define, and here I am going to write print result. Okay, shift F10. You can see 10 plus 20 plus 30. If I'm adding all those things, I'm getting. Suppose you want to multiply, you want to apply logarithm, you can do it. Whatever things you want to do over on the top of this, you can do it. Suppose you want to multiply the all those numbers which is present in the list, that is also possible. You can do it. Yes, I can do it. Right? Note. Now note. In Python, everything is treated as a object, and every function also internally treated as a object only. Means in case of Python, everything is an object at the end. Okay, yeah, that's all about the you can say this map, reduce, filter, and function. Different kind of function what we had seen so far. We had seen different kind of inbuilt function, user defined function, parameterized function, or you can say what we had seen now. Next, we had seen the variable length argument parameters, we had seen the map, reduce, filter. Okay, so many things we had seen, right? Up to this, do you have any doubt? So you can ask me. It's a doubt session now. 5 minutes I'm giving you all, guys. Just try to understand, and if you need anything, you can ask me. So guys, no doubt, let's understand then new concept like a generator and iterator. What is the generator and iterator? Just try to understand. Now new concept we are going to see like a generator and iterator. First we will see the generator. What is the generator? Okay, generator is a function which is responsible to generate a sequence of value. Okay, what is generator? Just try to understand. Generator is a function which is responsible to generate a sequence of value, correct? We can write a generator function just like an ordinary function, but it use the yield keyword return value, yield keyword to return the values. Let's suppose we are writing the method def. Suppose some method we are writing, and at the end means return a plus b we are doing, right? But in case of generator, means we should not write this return argument. We should write like this: def sum and yield. Instead of writing return, we should write yield a plus b. That's all. It will return these things, right? So now let's see how to use this generator. Okay, so what is the generator? See, try to understand this concept. Next, I'll make it another diagram here. Just try to understand. So generator function, this is our generator function. Generator function means a sequence of value. It will return a sequence of value, right? Sequence of value. with the yield keyword. Okay, just try to understand. We are going to implement in a while. Okay, just a minute. Def, and here I'm going to define mygen, and inside of mygen I am going to write some nothing, and here I'm going to write here yield a yield a and yield is okay, yield a, now yield b, now yield c, yield c. Now what we are going to do, just try to understand. I'm going to call this my generator method, and I'm going to store here inside of g, and now print type of g. I want what is the type of g. Okay, that value we'll see. Okay, shift, it's a generator. Can you see this? It's a generator kind of class. Okay, now let's suppose print, and here I want next of g. Okay, it's a kind of for loop only, means one by one element will get come. Okay, similarly print next, and here I am passing g. Done. Now if I'm executing this code, you can see I am happily getting ABC, correct? Now suppose I'm going to execute next time this g, next g, and now let's see, I'm getting one error. What is that error? Just try to understand what is this error. Can you see this? Stop iteration means I can call, you can see in the line number 8, from line number 8, you can see in line number 8 I called next g, then I got a. Similarly I called again g, then it gave me b. Third time also it gave c. But fourth time we don't have the element. That's what it is saying. Stop iterations means there is no element to iterate over there. Okay, so this is the use of the generator. Means generator will create a sequence of element. Okay, and that sequence of element we can call using the next method. Similarly we used to do the same thing with the for loop, right? But in case of for loop we are explicitly defined ki how many time you have to be execute. That's what it used to execute that many time, right? But in case of generator we are not going to define explicitly ki how many time you have to be execute. Let's suppose countdown. Suppose similarly I'm going to create one function. Suppose I'm going to create one function like def countdown, count, and here I am passing here number, and what we are going to do, print start countdown. And now what I am going to do, while number greater than 0, while number is greater than 0, then yield num, otherwise then num is equal to num minus 1, that's all. And now what I'm going to do, just try to understand these things. Values, I'm going to define values, and here I'm going to write count down, and here I'm passing the 5, right? And values. Now okay, now if I'm going to print values here, so what I'm getting, let's see. Can you see this? It's a generator object. You cannot print like this. You have to iterate over on the top of the values, right? So if you want to iterate over there, so there is a two way. One, either you can use the next method like this. Suppose print next values, next values. Okay, like this you can pass, means now if I'm executing this I can get the 5, okay. Similarly control c, control v, okay, shift F10. If I'm executing, I'm happily getting 5 4 3 2 1. But if next time if I'm printing, then what is getting, can you see this? Means after one, there is no number to iterate over there, so that's what it is giving stop iteration. But you can avoid these things using by using for loop. Okay, let me show you how to avoid these things. X in values, and here what we are passing, okay, and print x. Okay, now if I'm doing this, now there is no error, right? I can able to achieve my result also. Got it? So this is the beauty of these things. You can able to get it out once you do the practice. Just do the practice whatever we shown you so far today's session. Just do once practice, and if you face any problem you can ask me anytime. Okay, so this is the concept of generator function, right?
Hope you understood the concept. Yeah, that's all for today. We will see the next weekend, means coming weekend, for the Saturday and the same time, 6 p.m. Right? Meanwhile, stay tuning and watch the videos, whatever videos we had recorded for you over the YouTube. Yeah? Okay. Any doubt? Okay, guys, then we can wrap up this session for today, and we will meet on the Saturday on the next same time, 6 p.m. Thank you.